So I'll be honest, I wasn't happy with the release of Battlefield 2042, but on the other hand, I wasn't mad either. I feel like they were building towards something good, but everything just kind of went left, and they decided to release it anyway. Now, compared to most gamers with an opinion, I'm not here to absolutely tear down EA or DICE. This stuff does happen. I don't know about you guys, but from release, I could kind of tell what kind of roadmap Battlefield 2042 had in store for us. There was a lot of work to be done, but the thing is they were actually doing the work. Bug fix after bug fix, patches coming in pretty frequently, and it was pretty clear to me that the team understood that they had actually just fucked up, which is good. We love the accountability. The only sad thing about this is that while they were working as hard as they could to fix all the issues of Battlefield 2042, people were just dropping off and going back to titles like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5 because they were just that unimpressed with what they tried to do with 2042. Now, I completely understand why, but this isn't the first time a Battlefield game is at a rough start. Granted, this isn't 2014 and the expectations from companies like EA are much, much higher now, but I still think they deserve the chance to try and fix this game. Now, I'll say this as someone who loved Battlefield 4 growing up and honestly wasn't the biggest fan of Battlefield 1 or 5. I was very excited for the newest installment in the Battlefield series, and seeing all of this bad news emerge surrounding Battlefield 2042 absolutely sucked. But it was somewhat deserved, and I'm glad that as hard as it may have been for the team to continue, they did, and they are still dedicated to, trying to deliver us an experience that we can confidently say feels like Battlefield again. So here we are, 197 days after release, Battlefield 2042 patch 4.0. Now, let's go over it. What are some of the huge changes that have given some sort of hope to Battlefield players across the community? Now, of course, I'll leave a link in the description to the full patch notes so you can read to yourself, but whilst I indulge in some Battlefield 2042 myself, let me tell you some of my favorites. VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol, is always a fun feature and should have been in the game from the start, in my opinion. For those in the community that enjoy rolling solo, I think it's perfect. It just adds to those only in Battlefield experiences. Being able to communicate with your squad mates, I know that many times I've done the impossible with my random squad mates, and it would have felt so much more immersive if we'd been able to talk to each other. Now, I know there are those for and against voice communication, but there are also protection features within the game to allow you to silence those who decide to take advantage of this feature and use it to try and harm other players. So for the most part, I do think voice communication is a positive thing in the game. Now we move on to probably one of the most controversial things about this game, and that is the scoreboard. I actually think the scoreboard is probably the funniest of all the highly requested bug fixes because everyone was actually upset about this. Like, really, really upset. I get it. The one that we had on release of the game was terrible, but the outrage just for the scoreboard was crazy. So alongside 4.0, they've fixed it, and here's what it looks like now. I'm going to show you both side by side comparison, and honestly, it's a much better improvement on what we had. It definitely feels like the old Battlefield with the addition of like the badge progresses and all that other stuff. I can confidently say that I like the new modern look, and there are things that they could tweak, but if they stayed like this, I'd be happy with it. Now, to round up my top 3, let's talk about player adjustments. I think these fixes are probably my favorite because, oh my god, were they annoying. Especially these few right here, I lost a lot of brain cells to these bugs. But as you can see, the list is long, and I'm glad that they've taken the time to literally fix every single one of them. In my time playing earlier, I definitely noticed the difference, and honestly I think these changes had the biggest impact and why I enjoyed my short time playing Battlefield 2042. And to me, that says a lot. Now that I've had time to think, I believe that the main issue for a lot of us fans of the franchise is that the game just was not ready. A lot of the fixed problems were actually really, really small, it's just that there were so many of them. Again, it sucks that it's taken so long to get to a point where the game actually feels good, but it makes me excited that we're getting closer and closer to having a solid Battlefield 2042 experience. We also can't forget that soon enough we'll finally be getting some Season 1 content, which I'm pretty excited for. I can't wait to check it out. But I think we should just keep an open mind that they are actively committing to fixing and giving us the game that they showed us in the trailers. To wrap up, if you are skeptical about Battlefield 2042, just re-download it and give it a try. I think those like myself that left the game for a long while will be pretty surprised and also pleased at the progress that the game is making. Again, I'm not forcing you to try, but I honestly think that most of you will see an improvement that you'd be satisfied with. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next.